Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Crack UPSC CSE in English with Unacademy. And if you want to know about me, like my name is Vijay Kumar. I have 5 years of teaching experience for civil services, and I have also appeared for civil services interview twice, and I have given the mains examination more than couple of times. So despite of being failure in this examination, I have gained huge amount of knowledge on how to appear and how to crack this examination. And since the last 5 years I have been in this teaching field, guiding many aspirants who want to become civil servants, and I have guided many students who cracked this examination with geography as optional. Clear? So every day at 8:30 p.m. I'll be coming up live for you, and in these live sessions I'll be discussing about some of the important topics which are very important for your UPSC CSE preliminary preparation. So as of now I'll be focusing on those aspects which are important for prelims, and later preliminary examination, like I'll be focusing on those subjects which are those aspects which are important for your mains. So I'll be dealing up with geography, ecology, environment, and some portions of modern history for you, and I'll enlighten you in every aspect on how to contribute towards your preparation better and better. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about the geomorphic movements. It is one of the most important topics in your UPSC, in especially geomorphology syllabus. Clear? So let's crack UPSC CSE English. Please try to subscribe to this channel, and you have a bell symbol over there. Please click on the bell symbol to get the continuous notifications of these particular lectures which happen on Let's Crack UPSC CSE English. Clear? So, and if you see, like you can crack UPSC CSE just by sitting at your home. That can only be possible by India's largest learning platform, that is Unacademy. So once you get the subscription of Unacademy, you will be getting live and recorded lectures, and you will be getting huge quizzes, and you will be getting huge amount of test series which are available on the platform, through which you can evaluate your preparation. And also you will be getting structured courses by top 100 educators of the country who are present on this particular Unacademy platform. Along with that, unlimited access you would be getting. So these are the things which you would be getting once you would be getting the subscription. Just 1 minute. Clear? So in this particular discussion, if you see, like you will be finding most important aspects which are present in prelims. Clear? So see, these are the things which you are going to get once you get the subscription done. So daily you will be finding huge amount of live classes on the platform, along with that structured courses, live test series. So how to get the subscription of Unacademy? It is very simple. Open the Play Store and click on Unacademy Learning app and just install the app. Once you install the app, just go to homepage, choose your goal as UPSC CSE. Once you choose your goal as UPSC CSE, you will be redirected towards the subscription page. And what is the price which is required for this subscription? I'll let you know. Like with very nominal amount you can crack the civil services. I'll just share the details of the subscription page. Clear? So before that, let me make you some of the educators, let me introduce some of the educators who teach on Unacademy platform. They include like Sudarshan Gujar, Ayush Sangi, Prakash Kumar, and Brunal Patel. So I hope like no description is required for these top educators of the country. They deal up with many other important aspects of your mains, essay, and optional. So try to focus on these particular educators. As I have said, we have more than 100 educators running on the platform. And once you install the app, you can watch these special classes for free. These special classes are meant to introduce Unacademy to you. So every educator, every mentor on the platform, he will be creating some of the special classes for free, and by using the links which they share, you can watch these special classes. So this will give you a brighter idea on how actually the classes would be running on the platform. Clear? So like you can see also the upcoming courses which are coming on the platform, and this is the subscription page where you would be reaching. If you see per month it is just 7,200, per 3 month 18,000, per 6 month it is 28,800, and per 12 month it is 36,000, and for 24 month if you take it is just 43,200. Clear? So with this nominal amount, just by sitting at your home, you can crack UPSC. Clear? And if I am not wrong, like generally I suggest aspirants to go for 12-month subscription or 24-month subscription. The reason behind it is like, per month if you calculate, it would be just 3,000 rupees, and per 24 month when you take the subscription, per month price reduces for 1,800. So when you take for larger duration, the amount reduces on its own. So please try to take the subscription for 12 month or 24 month. Clear? And don't forget to use this code called as VK10. Once you use this code called as VK10, you will be getting 10% discount on the platform. Clear? So we will start up with our discussion, and the discussion of the day includes geomorphology, and in that the most important topic which is present, that is geomorphic movements. In general, when the earth was formed, the landscape which was developed, that particular landscape is constantly evolving. It means continuously changing. So the earth's crust is continuously changing, continuously evolving, and continuously modifying. This is happening just because of two various forces, and these two various forces include endogenic forces. Just 1 minute. These various forces include endogenic forces, which are those forces which come from interior of the earth, as well as those forces which act from the above the surface. They are called as exogenic forces. So these two are the forces which are highly important in geomorphology, which would create huge amount of modification. So the modification of earth which is being constantly evolving, that happens just because of endogenic forces and exogenic forces. And these two couple of forces, which include endogenic and exogenic, they are considered as geomorphic movements. So these particular geomorphic movements have made the earth continuously evolving in itself. So hence they include endogenic and exogenic. Please do remember these two forces. So there might be any question related with this in UPSC Prelims as well as mains. So please try to remember endogenic forces are those forces which come from interior of the earth. That's why they are called as endogenic. And those forces which come from the exterior of the earth's surface, they are called as exogenic forces. Clear? So these forces cause physical and chemical changes to the earth's surface. So physical change is nothing but disintegration, and chemical change mostly involves the dissolution and disintegration as well. So some of these changes are very slow, some of these changes are gradual, and some of these changes happen very sudden. If you see like slow changes which you can observe on that surface, like weathering, it is a process of disintegration of that particular earth crust. It might be a rock or it might be a solid earth crust. And folding, it is also slow process through which fold mountains develop. And like erosion, it is nothing but due to gravity, the weathered material, when it falls onto the earth, or without or with any other external agent of erosion. Clear? When like running water, glacier, wind, underground water, when they make this particular disintegrated material to move, that concept would be called as erosion. Or we may also see some of the sudden forces, like because of endogenic forces we may have development of earthquake, or we may have development of volcanic eruptions. So these are highly important in modifying the earth surface. If you could see the geomorphic process or the earth movement, see, this is the particular flowchart which you have to remember. Clear? And this particular flowchart includes endogenic and exogenic forces. Clear? So endogenic forces are those forces which come from interior of the earth surface, and exogenic forces are those forces which come from the exterior of the earth surface. Clear? So first we will try to pick and understand about endogenic forces. Those forces which come from interior of the earth, either slowly or suddenly, these forces include in this particular aspect of endogenic. So these kind of endogenic forces which are very slow, they are called as diastrophic forces, or that process is called as diastrophism. And sudden forces include volcanism and earthquake. Because of any sudden disturbance which happens in the interior of the earth's surface, we would be having generation of volcanism and earthquakes. So try to remember these certain aspects. Clear? So if you see, first if you consider the diastrophic forces which are present, these diastrophic forces, they have two perspectives involved in it. One is vertical force and one is horizontal force. Like either from the interior of the earth surface, we may have the force having acting on the earth surface either vertically or in a horizontal way. Clear? So if any force is acting vertically on the earth surface, they are called as epirogenic forces or continental building forces. Clear? We may have vertical upliftment and vertical downward movement. This epirogenic forces include upward epirogenic force and downward epirogenic force. Clear? You can observe this particular flow chart here. While coming to the horizontal endogenic force, that is horizontal force, that is called as orogenic or mountain building force, whereby this horizontal force are responsible for the creation of different mountain ranges on that surface. So in this horizontal movement of orogenic forces, either the forces would be acting towards each other, which we call it as forces of compression, or we can call it as compressional forces, or those forces which move away from each other, which are called as tensional forces. Do remember this, whenever we have compressional forces, we would be having development of fold mountain process. So wherever we would be having tensional forces, there we would be experiencing fault. Fault is nothing but a gap created on the earth crust or in the earth crust, because of which we would be having generation of block mountains. Please do remember this statement. There are chances that questions would be coming from this aspect. So compressional forces, they result into formation of fold mountains, and tensional forces, they result into formation of fault mountains or block mountains. Clear? So please try to remember this flowchart. If any question would be asked on endogenic, try to draw this flowchart. That would fetch you more than half of marks, because examiner, there is no necessity for examiner to read the rest of the answer which you have written. This flowchart says everything. So try to draw these kind of flowcharts in your examinations. Clear? And the second force which is present, that is exogenic forces. And this particular exogenic forces includes the process of weathering and erosion. So weathering is a process of disintegration of rock. So this particular disintegration of rock may happen because of physical weathering, chemical weathering, or biological weathering. Physical weathering is such kind of one particular aspect whereby the disintegration of rock happens because of the physical factors. Physical factors include pressure, temperature, and rainfall and frost conditions. They are nothing but these physical factors which include like wind which would be moving. And chemical factors include like involvement of gases like oxygen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, which makes the chemical weathering to happen. And biological weathering includes like inclusion of flora and fauna, like even human being is responsible for the weathering process. For example, deep mining, deep quarrying is nothing but a process of biotic weathering itself. So in this regard, we would be having process of modification, process of disintegration of rock, and we would be having process of modification of the earth surface. So apart from this, if you see, the second process which would be involved under erosion is whenever any external factor comes into picture. Like for example, a rock has been disintegrated, but the disintegrated material is not moving anywhere because no external force is present there. So if such kind of external force makes this disintegrated rock to move away, that process would be considered as erosion. Like whenever running water moves on the disintegrated rock, that particular disintegrated sediments or minute rocks would be moving further. In such a way, groundwater, in such a way, glacier, in such a way, oceanic waves and oceanic currents, in such a way, winds. So all these are important agents of erosion which creates erosional landforms or depositional landforms. Clear? These are also the factors of deposition as well. Like running water erodes and creates valley-like structures. Underground water creates cave-like structures. Glaciers, they would be developing hanging valleys, outwash plains. Sea waves, they would be creating sea caves at the coastal region, beaches at the coastal region. and capes and bays in the coastal region. And if you see winds, which are the most active agents of erosion, they would be developing the sand dunes in the desert. Clear? So in this way, every particular erosional exogenic force, they might create erosional landform as well as depositional landform. So this is also highly important for you. Please try to remember endogenic and exogenic factors. Clear? So if you see the large scale movements on the earth crust or its surface brought down by the forces emanating from deep below, they are called as endogenic forces. Do remember? And those forces, this process that are driven by the forces from deep interior of the earth, they are called as endogenic forces. Clear? So please do remember this particular endogenic force. And you can see a simple classification of endogenic. It includes sudden forces and diastrophic forces. If I say the diastrophic forces can't be observed with our naked eye. Clear? So diastrophic forces which are present, it takes some thousands of years to show the resultant, like continent formation or a mountain building process. It is of very huge, like it takes huge amount of time. So it may take some hundreds of years, or sometimes it might take some thousands of years. So it can't be appeared with our naked eye. You can't sit and see about the mountain building process. You can't see the development of mountain with your naked eye. Clear? But sudden forces you can observe. They would be within fraction of seconds. Like earthquakes, volcanoes, which we generally observe, they are the positions of sudden movements which are being developed. Clear? So like endogenic movements are divided as diastrophic and sudden movements. Like diastrophism refers to deformation, and these diastrophic forces are gradual in nature, which may stretch for thousands of years. And on the other hand, we would be having earthquake and volcanoes which would occur in very shortest span of time. And this particular diastrophic forces, we further divided it into epirogenic movements, like vertical movements which act on the surface, and orogenic movements whereby the factors or the forces which act horizontally on the surface. So because of epirogenic vertical movements, we would be having the continental formation. Like how a continent would be formed is with the vertical upliftment, with the vertical force which is acting upward onto the earth crust. From the center of the earth crust, we would be experiencing upliftment of the continent. And we can see the subsidence whenever we would be having the downward moment acting over there. We can see the subsidence of continent. Clear? And in the coastal regions, we can observe submergence of the coast and emergence of the coast. So if the same scenario like subsidence is repeated at the coast, it is submergence of the coast. And if you see this particular upliftment, it is emergence of the coast. And orogenic movements, as everyone know, it includes the mountain building process. Like these orogenic movements are of two types. When they move together, they would be considered as compressional forces, and when they move far away, they are called as tensional forces. So in those regions wherever we have compressional forces, in those regions we would be having folding, and in those regions where we would be having tensional forces, we would be experiencing faulting. So in the regions of folding, we experience fold mountains, and in the regions of faulting, we experience block mountains. Clear? So diastrophic forces involves folding, faulting, folding, wrapping of land. So wrapping is nothing but similar kind of a fold like structure where only limited portion would be folded. Clear? So do remember these particular points which are highly important for you. So if you see up with epirogenic movements which are important, like these epirogenic movements, they are continental forming movements or radial movements which helps in either subsidence or upliftment of the land from the center. So upliftment can be observed like raised beaches, elevated wave cut terraces. In some of the regions, the beaches are at some elevated regions. And the wave cut terraces, like there would be some regions near to the sea cliffs where we can find wave cut terraces. They would be appeared in a elevated region. And sea cave development can be seen. If you see this kind of upliftment or raised beaches in India, they can be observed at several places. Like you can observe near to the Kathiawar region of Gujarat and Nellore coastal district of Andhra Pradesh, and also you can observe this in Tirunelveli coast. So you can quote these examples while you write any answer related with geomorphic movements. and several places which were on the sea some centuries ago are now a few miles inland due to this upliftment. So because of this upliftment, now they have been far away from the beach structure. Now they are part of the inland. If you see the Koringa Wildlife Sanctuary, which is present, Koringa Bird Sanctuary, which is present near the mouth of Godavari, and Kaveri Patnam in the Kaveri Delta, and Korakai region on the coast of Tirunelveli. They are the best examples which were earlier seaports, which were all flourishing seaports 1000 to 2000 year backs during the medieval phases and early and later medieval phases. So, but now these are not the coastal beaches. Clear, they have been moved inland because of the upliftment which have been created because of the epirogenic forces. Clear, you can see like those portions which got uplifted. Like this sea cave was beneath the sea, but because of the upliftment in the coastal regions, because of the emergence of land, this sea cave started appearing. And you can see this particular land which has been suddenly raised in between the oceanic water or between the sea. So this is the emergence of land. This is emergence of land. Clear. So this portion was also beneath the sea, which is called as emergence of land. So this particular coastal region, it was part of continental shelf, but because of the upliftment of continent, now it has been turned as wave cut platform. So these kind of uplifted features can be observed within this range of upliftment under the epirogenic movements. And if you could see the subsidence, submerged forest and valleys and buildings are the best example of subsidence within the continental range. So if you see in 1819, a part of run of Kutch was submerged as a result of an earthquake. So if in the coastal region, if it is happening, then it would be called as submerged. And if in the continental margin, if they observe, if we observe, it is called as subsidence. Clear. And if you see in the Tamil Nadu region, we can take the best example. The presence of the peat and lignite coal, which happens in and around Tirunelveli region. That is the best example. Like these beds were below the sea level. Clear. Now earlier they were part of coastal region, but now it is part of the sea level, whereby almost it is equivalent to the sea level. And you can see the Sundarban Delta region, which is also the best example of subsidence. So I am quoting these examples that you would remember these examples, and whenever you write any answer related with this, please try to focus on these examples. Clear. And also if you could see, the Andaman Nicobar Islands have been isolated from the Arakan-Yoma coast by the submergence of intervening land. So Arakan-Yomas are nothing but the Purvanchal's extension into Myanmar. That region would be called as Arakan-Yomas, and that Arakan-Yomas extension into Bay of Bengal, and in that submerged portion we would be having one particular elevated region called as Andaman Nicobar Island. So these islands have been developed as a part of extension of Arakan-Yomas into the Bay of Bengal. You could see these are a particular Arakan-Yomas extension, and this Arakan-Yomas extension into the Bay of Bengal, here we would be having the island group called as Andaman Nicobar Islands. So the Purvanchal extension into this particular region would be called as Andaman Nicobar Islands. Please do remember this point. Clear. And if you see one more example, on the east side of Bombay Island, trees have been found embedded in the mud about 4 meters below the low water mark. This is also the best example. And most of the portion of Gulf of Mannar and Park Strait is very shallow and has been submerged in the geological times. And a part of Mahabalipuram in Chennai is also the submerged portion. So more amount of this downward movement of epirogenic will result into submergence of coastal regions. 85% it would be the coastal regions which would be affecting, and it is only 15% which would be affecting the inland of continent. Clear. So please try to remember these examples. And while coming to the orogenic movements, these are those movements which act on the surface horizontally, either towards each other or away from each other. If they are acting towards each other, this particular orogenic movements which are present, they create either compressional force. If you see, when two forces acting towards each other, they would be developing the compressional force. And if these forces are moving away from each other, we would be having development of tensional force. So in that regard, So as everyone know, like whenever we would be having compressional forces, the land folds in this regard. We would be having folding of land. Clear? Or when tensional forces would be applied, the land would be broken, a fracture would be developed. Clear? A crack would be developed when we have tensional forces. And if you see the folding zone anywhere, any compressional force wherever it would be applied, the amount of folding which happens, that depends upon the amount of compressional force applied and the nature of the rocks and the strength of the rocks and also the local topography which is present. So it's not like everywhere we would be having the same certain amount of folding. We may have very low typical type of folding in some of the regions where we have the topography in very rigid manner, and we may have those folding structures in a best way where we would be experiencing flexible folding process or flexible topographies. Clear? So these are the best examples which we have. Now the question comes, from where exogenic movement comes. Clear? Hope everyone has got an idea on what actually is an endogenic force. So hello everyone who have joined this lecture. So Vamshi, Amin, Qureshi, so like Ram Kumar, hello people, everyone who have joined this lecture. My sincere advice is please like this lecture and also do share it on your social platforms so that it adds me as a motivation to come up with such kind of lectures. And you can also comment in the live chat session that what are the topics which you want from my side and our side, so-called Unacademy team. We will make those topics comfortable for you. Please let us know what are the topics either in the live chat session or in the comment session. Clear? So like exogenic movements, whenever we discuss like those factors which act on the earth's surface externally, they are called as exogenic forces. Already I have said like these exogenic forces involve weathering and erosion. Clear? Because of which we would be having disintegration of land. So the weathered and eroded material would be deposited somewhere else. Like for example, if river is eroding a valley-like structure, the sediments which are collected from this valley-like structure, they might be deposited somewhere else, and there we might have an depositional landform. If valley is an erosional landform, and that sediments which are taken from the valley would be deposited somewhere else. Clear? So in this regard, we would be experiencing the exogenic movements. If you see, like in general, earlier we used to call it as weathering, erosion, transportation and deposition. But now American School of Geomorphology, they have given a common term for this, that is called as process of denudation. Then do remember this, denudation includes weathering, erosion, transportation and deposition. So denudation depends upon physical factors and chemical factors of the rocks. So like denudation generally creates faults, folds, like whenever we would be having the process of weathering and properties. If they are soft rock, then denudation can happen very easily. If they are hard rocks, denudation would be very limited in nature. Clear? So denudational process or exogenic process, I have discussed, like I'll be discussing about separate erosional and depositional landforms in the upcoming lectures, like erosional and depositional landforms made by running water, erosional and depositional landforms made by wind, erosional and depositional landforms made by glacier, erosional and depositional landforms made by underground water, and erosional and depositional landforms made by sea waves. So try to wait for that particular lecture daily in the same regard, with minimum span of time within half an hour. I'll be finishing each and every subtopic for you, which are very important for prelims. The only thing which you have to do is please share the video as much as you can, and also please do like and do subscribe to Let's Crack UPSC CSE English channel. Clear? So if you want to get continuous notifications, please click on the bell icon. And if you want more and more from us, please do comment and give your feedback in the live chat session also. So try to subscribe to this channel, and also please try to download Unacademy Learning app. And once you download the Unacademy Learning app, you can watch special classes for free. And if you have liked all the lectures, please try to subscribe to the Unacademy channel by using the code VK10. If you use this code called as VK10 on the subscription prices, you would be getting 10% discount. Clear? If you have liked this video, please give a like symbol and also share it. Clear? So thank you for watching this lesson. Have an awesome day. Stay home, stay safe, read with Unacademy. Thank you. So please comment in the live chat if you want more and more sessions for me from my side. If you want, I'll make up very much clear for you. Clear? I'll 100% help you. And many of you have commented like uh, geography optional. Yes, if you want, Amin Qureshi, please let me know what you want. And he has said that NCRT 6 to 12th and GC Leong is enough. Kindly guide me. Clear. So I'll be making. So is it Amin Qureshi? I have to make a session in the on the basis of NCRTs and GC Leong, right? So is this was your query? If it was your query, please let me know. Clear. I'll be 100% helping you in this regard. Clear. So hence, thank you for watching this lesson. Have an awesome day. Jai Hind. Stay home, stay safe. Learn with Unacademy. Thank you.